Hi, welcome to Kitchen Art with Nick Augustino of Eastside Restaurant. I'm your co-host, Joe Marino, and our special guest is Tim Stewart, the president of the Chamber of Commerce in New Britain.
Oh, tickety-tocky, tickety-tocky. Hi. Look who I got with me today. Hello, Mr. Stewart.
Nick, how are you?
Doing, sir?
Nice to see you.
Nice having you. Nice having you. Come here to see if we can't produce some strudel today.
Absolutely.
We get this producer, we get to try a little bit, we get to talk about it all. Anything else you might want to talk about?
And we get to eat it.
Very open ears, very
Well,
open ears.
I'm a beer connoisseur, so if we
Oh.
talk about that, we can.
Well, I'll tell you what. We had a drunken chicken the show before, which was a lot about the beer, and that really went over very, very well. And we found out that beer can make you see double and feel single. So, that usually works with the public today, But
On the menu at the restaurant?
beer,
No.
all 9 of them. Drunken chicken,
Drunken
yes, it
chicken
is.
it is, okay.
Happy hour chicken, we call it. Everybody does chicken wings.
Yeah.
Nick does a whole half of chicken and beer. Why not? It's all about the beer. But basically, we're going to do some apple strudel today. And this has been one of my biggest sellers. This is going to be the highlight of the Oktoberfest, too.
Okay.
We have actually, we went through about 70 loaves of 12-inch loaves of apple strudel last year. And we're looking to do a lot more. But today, I want to give everybody the recipe, and of course, it's got walnuts in it. So if you're allergic to walnuts, this is not the dessert for you.
Any specific kind of apple you use? Or?
I use a canned apple, believe it or not, already sliced, but I use it in water, not syrup, natural water. And we'll use 3 cans per 9 strudel. Each can's going to give me 3 strudel, as we see it. But what it does is it'll take a sweet apple and a sour apple and give it together, so you actually got a sweet and sour taste in your strudel already. And then we're going to go with the sugar end of it, and we do like a lot of sweetness in there. Of course, raisins, and we use a lot more raisins than most of the strudels ask for. And you can actually, it's an optional. You really don't need to put raisins in it, but something about us, we throw a lot of raisin in ours. And of course, the spice, apples and cinnamon, always nice, and that's where we go there. So basically, we got about almost a half a teaspoon, and then we're going to add some spiced rum. Spiced rum, alcohol helps blend the flavors. That's why of course, you got a little spice in the rum that you like to use, but with the alcohol, it helps, the alcohol helps spread the flavor. Like imitation vanilla. When you buy imitation vanilla, there's no alcohol in it, but it doesn't spread through your ingredients quick enough.
Right.
Yeah.
If you got alcohol in your extract, it'll spread the vanilla all through your product and make it taste a lot better. So that's why we try to use the alcohol content of this does not stay. Once you bake it, it's gone. But the flavors and making sure that it goes all the way through the apples is exactly what we want to do.
Wonder why everybody's happy when they come out of your restaurant.
Listen, they march in and stagger out.
Now, Nick, you put that rum in there, but you didn't, we don't know how much you used.
Well, you want to know something? I used about 3/4 of a cup right there.
Okay.
And if you want to use a cup and a half, no problem.
Okay, it doesn't make any difference.
If you want to use a half a cup, no problem. You're going to find out what you like.
Okay.
And then we're going to mix this up. Now, after we mix it up, we're going to let it sit. And we're going to let it sit for 24 hours.
Wow.
So what we do is we take this down to the walk-in box.
So
we set it
marinates.
down in the walk-in box. And then the next morning, we bring it up.
Wow.
Now, when we bring it up here, we have our pastry. We buy these pastries already pre-squared, just like this. So it's really that we're not putting the flour, putting it in a mixing bowl, kneading, and anything else that we have to do. And especially this pastry, because it's rolled with butter, and it makes it flaky. We leave our plastic end on it, and then we go from here. And we're going to just load our strudel.
So this is puff pastry.
This
you
is
buy
puff
it-
pastry in a sheet.
Okay.
I think it's 24 sheets to a box.
Okay.
And we
Smells
do it.
good
Oh,
already.
it's a lot easier than making your own.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. Well, you want to know something?
Hard to.
It's not
Price-wise,
so much
though,
price-wise.
is it cheaper?
We couldn't do it cheaper.
No.
They got a machine that's producing
Okay.
Yeah.
100
Yep.
miles of this stuff. We're going to produce maybe 20, 30 sheets a week.
Okay.
We might as well buy it already.
Yep.
Let the
Definitely.
machine do it. I couldn't afford to buy the machine either. So now we're going to bring it right over like this. And at this point, we're going to grab our plastic off. We're going to egg. Egg is a glue. We're going to glue this sucker.
Plus, it makes it
Okay.
nice and
Yeah,
golden
we're
color.
going to top it too with egg after this. So we're going like so. And we got our glue going. And we're going to go. We bite our ends. We bite our ends.
That was easy. It wasn't too bad.
And then you egg the top of that also, right?
Now we're going to egg the top.
Any other spice on the top?
I'm going to do powdered sugar when it's over.
Okay.
And I don't need too much more cinnamon in it because I really loaded my apples with that. And we're going to get a better texture color look when I show you the finishing product. So now, Tim.
Pretty easy.
Yeah, but now what we're going to do is ask you to put it in our favorite oven.
Absolutely.
That's our magic oven.
Okay, and it cooks like in, hang on.
Yeah.
And what temperature do you cook it at?
Yeah. So now we got it in about a 365-degree oven. We got it in there now. We're going to let that bake. Now I'm going to tell you.
Fast forward 40 minutes?
I'm going to say a little around 55 to an hour and 5 minutes,
Okay.
depending on how many you're baking at one time.
Okay.
And if you put a lot of them. But let me tell you the secret. And this is what I found the secret of what makes great apple strudel. I just made good apple strudel right there. I call that good apple strudel. But we want to make great apple strudel. So what we do is as soon as before we cook it here, and you see now you unwrapped it here, we would have left it wrapped. And we would have frozen.
Oh, okay, so it penetrates.
That's right.
Okay.
Now we freeze it solid, and as soon as you get it to frozen, then you're going to bake it frozen.
Okay.
Your apples are going to turn out so much texture, so much more flavor. And I found it out at the last Oktoberfest. I'm baking this strudel. It's okay strudel. It's not great strudel. It's okay. I've tasted great strudel. I've been around. So all of a sudden I needed 150 strudel for the Oktoberfest. So needing 150 strudel, I had to freeze them.
Yep.
So as we froze them I'm at the Oktoberfest, and I'm eating strudel. I said, this is great strudel.
Yeah.
What did we do different? And I went back to the chefs. What did we do? Nothing. Because same recipe. I said, I don't get what you did. And then we figured it out. We froze it. So I said, let's try freezing a few instead of doing it fresh. What we came out with is we will take one day Sunday, make 150 strudel, put them in the freezer, and then use them for 2 weeks. And then come back and do it.
That's great, yeah.
So what the ending product comes out is our strudel. Nice and baked, nice crispy edges. We usually can get around 12, there's about 15 inches of strudel here, but we only count 12 portions.
Does the eggs what give it that golden brown?
That's exactly it. You can actually see it.
Okay.
And basically, what the old baker used to do, if I could find what I did with it, what the old baker used to do was sprinkle some sugar on top. And that'll give you a little glossier look too as well. So basically, we're going to finish this off with powdered sugar, and you can go crazy with that because it actually looks better with all the snow on there. We actually like serving it with whipped cream. We like serving it hot, and we like to serve it with ice cream too.
A little vanilla, golden vanilla ice cream would be just perfect.
Exactly. So that's apple strudel. Basically, I sell it by the inch. You can take it home if you want a 6-inch piece for tomorrow. We got a box for it. We let you take that home. We'll sell it by the foot. A lot of them like to bring it to their parties and make it a centerpiece and put the doilies around it and have a whole piece and slice off.
I didn't realize until recently that you have a to-go menu. As I just did some advertising for the chamber on it, but I never knew that was part of your business. I always thought it was a, in restaurant.
We don't get into the catering because we just can't bring our product out comfortably. I have to go with the product that does. So what we do is we'll let you pick anything up at the back door.
Yep. Okay.
If you want anything you want, you can pick up at the back door. But strudel is just a comfortable item. It's a pastry item. It holds up well. It doesn't have to be piping hot when you serve it. If it's lukewarm, it still tastes good.
Absolutely.
So you can buy it at 3 hours before the event and still have warm strudel. And it's just, it seemed to be a great item. I used to bake apple pies. I got rid of apple pies. Now I only carry apple strudel, and it seems to be carrying all the weight. I mean, nothing's better than Mama's apple pie, but that little guy that stands on the TV going, apple strudel. I love that. Yeah. He made me $1 million as soon as he said it. No one knew what the crap was, and now everybody knows. Right? Yeah. But that's exactly what, as far as the marketing goes. That's why we actually did it. When I was in Germany, they would do a real sauce. They'd have a sauce for it, like a vanilla cream sauce, and they would put it on the bottom of the plate and put it on top. And that is excellent too. And that usually goes over. So it depends on how you there's probably another 18 variations of strudel. This is what we try to use, which is most comfortable that
So
we
it's
design.
basically just apples, nuts, and some cinnamon
Raisins.
and raisins.
And
Yeah.
rum.
And rum.
And rum.
And rum. And then after that, the pastry's already made. You can get these at the store just about anywhere. Let it sit for overnight.
I
There's
would imagine
something.
the type of rum you use probably has something to do with the the taste in the end.
You want-
Some are a little
Sure,
more
yeah.
spicy
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
others.
Yeah.
I do like a spice rum.
Yeah.
One of the name brands is what I've been using. And I've had the sugar in the regular rum. I do use in a few of my pastries that I make
Okay.
and whatnot. But when it gets to the apples, you can get away with that nutmeg hit that apple that the spice rum has, and that's mostly what we're trying to get is the nutmeg without being bitter.
Yeah.
If you don't use fresh nutmeg, I don't care. It tastes bitter, but you can actually get nutmeg out of a liquor, and where it's it doesn't battle the sweetness of your product, and it could go away with a good
Yeah,
dessert.
this is great. We're coming to the close.
Really?
And,
not that fast. Am
not-
I a quick chef? It's got to be Tim here.
Hang on, let me check.
Now we get
The
to taste,
magic oven still works.
now we get to taste the food.
Now we get to
So,
sit down and try a little bit and see what.
This was great. I learned a lot.
I hope
really
you
good.
I
did.
am surprised how easy it is to make.
Yes,
Working,
I am
working
too.
someone, you buy those pastries from, the dough from a restaurant supply
Yeah,
facility.
I get it from Cisco. We buy it like a case of 24.
Yep.
And then
If somebody were to want to make this, could they buy that in the store?
Yeah,
Yes,
Stop
they
and
do.
Shop has it, yeah.
Stop and Shop will have sheets. I don't know if it's the big sheets like I get. That's the only
Yeah,
thing I got
they're
questioned.
square.
But they're
small,
square, and
yeah.
this is a restaurant size,
Yep.
and you will be able to get what they call a home
Okay.
size.
Okay.
And basically, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to actually want to try it. An apple pie, Mama's apple pie, and freeze it and then bake it.
Yeah.
Because I really
Oh,
found the
they're good. I had
difference.
it last night, as a
Okay.
matter of fact, with
I'm
ice
sorry,
cream.
we're running out of time.
No, let's go eat this stuff and let's talk
Let's
some
eat it.
more.
Yes,
Thank
definitely.
you.
I can't wait.
Diane, please come. We're ready. Well, hello and welcome back to see this show of eating apple strudel with Tim Stewart. Diane, bring over some of that strudel we just baked off. Let me tell you. Oh, that looks beautiful.
With
Good.
whipped
I can
cream.
still smell it from that magic
You
oven.
ain't kidding. That magic oven did some serious work. It did. It did. I'm going to enjoy this. Can I get us some champagne too, Di? Is that possible? So, Tim, I'm a restaurant guy.
Yep.
And I've seen West Hartford do their magic and
I
Middletown do their magic.
thought you were a circus guy, really.
Yeah, well, you want to know, a piece of that's in me because that was my grandfather. So the genes are there, so I'm not too far away. But I see West Hartford do their thing now, and they got their own style. I'm telling you, they do. And you're not going to touch that with what they do. They're great. And Middletown and New Haven's trying to find there. Hartford's trying to find there. And I think New Britain should try to find there. What's your philosophy on? I'm looking, I'm a restaurant person. I got Dwight Street. I got this destination restaurant. But I look at Main Street and I look at the future of Main Street and I see restaurants. And am I the only one that can see it? Or is it a real tough situation that restaurant might not be the first way to go? That there's other avenues in marketing or something that we need to do for this city before we're looking at the restaurant?
Well, I can tell you from my experience, when I was mayor, we did a downtown revitalization plan, and part of that plan included a housing component with it. And I think that's the key. And until you have feet on the street after hours, you'll never sustain a restaurant in the downtown. And we've seen that unfortunately happen in that one particular spot that
Every
continues
time.
to turn people
Yeah.
over, and it's never really successful. Several attempts back, it was very successful, but it succumbed to other issues, not the business, because the business actually was fairly decent. It had other things to do with it, but. Until there's a component of housing in our downtown, and we've changed zoning down there to make it easier for people to build market rate housing down there. The unfortunate thing is what you have down there at this particular time is all of the residential units are somewhat subsidized units.
Yes, yes.
Which means they bring with it a a certificate from somebody who's being, the rent is being subsidized by the state or federal government. So that doesn't really allow for people with, significant amount of disposable cash in their pockets to be in your
to
downtown.
support downtown.
You
Yeah.
look at these other successful towns, the West Hartfords of the world, even Middletown, that's now got a huge, bustling Main Street. One of the reasons why they are so successful is they've created an environment down there where there's not only housing adjacent to it, but they've got a great partnership with a local college. Wesleyan University
Yep,
is right
yep,
there. So
yep.
you've got a young, urban environment there that is conducive to success. And same thing in West Hartford with Blueback Square. They've got people coming in from all over the place. There's really not all that much in our downtown that allows for that to happen besides ITBD that brings a lot of people in every day
Yep.
and throughout the course of the year. So one of the first steps in making that happen was the police station and making people feel safe in the downtown area. And that, to me, I think
And may I
is the
say,
first.
what a great police
Definitely.
station.
Beautiful
I'm
building.
telling you, I dealt with them last
Yep.
year. I've never seen such professionalism.
Absolutely.
I mean, we're lucky. I actually feel I'm very lucky that this town can grow and know the police station's already ahead of
It's
us.
already
Right.
there.
They're already ahead of us. I think they're leaps and bounds ahead of what New Britain is, and I think we can
It
catch
is,
up.
and that was the catalyst project to make things happen. The city can only do so much. It's got to be private investment, and that's some of what some people don't understand. They always think that the city's got to bond money for this and pay for this and do that. Well, a city that doesn't have the resources, as you very well know, we don't have the luxuries of going out and building buildings ourselves and trying to get tenants for it. We just can't do that. So the infrastructure is in place. Everything is there. That downtown is as capable as any in the state of Connecticut to make things happen. And I know you have an administration that wants to make it happen. We fixed the garages up so the garages are more welcoming
Very much
for
so.
people,
Yep.
and security
That
is
whole
there.
area coming into that city, coming in
Yep.
through that police station way, very, very good looking, especially with the busway
Sure.
picture looking. I mean, you got a picture of a
Yep.
very advancement
Absolutely.
as far as coming into our city.
And that, I think a lot of those pieces are in place to make things happen, and it's just a question of really getting some of the private investors to have that confidence to make it happen. And, that's what I do every day at the Chamber is try to convince
Yep.
people that it's the right thing to do. And I not only represent New Britain, but I represent Berlin also. So it's an interesting dynamic for me to be able to try to promote both cities now, which is great. I really enjoy it, and I think we've got some exciting things coming on the horizon. And unfortunately, in urban areas, the challenges are always much greater than in the suburban areas. So I think it'll all work in the end. It's just going to take a little more time. But the partnership with CCSU is probably one of the biggest components.
And that's
to
exactly
this.
what's my next. You read my mind here, because I got a feeling that's where all the ball games are played, is where there's the good college there
Absolutely.
to bring people in certain times to see your city,
Yep.
the parents, and the kids there to tell their parents what kind of city it really is.
Central has done a great job in partnering with the community on several fronts. They have the Community Central piece, which is downtown, ITBD, which is the Business Development Institute, which is there. They have a lot of tenants in there. They bring a lot of people into the community every year. But I think a stronger tie really is what's going to make this thing go. And by that I mean, if we were able to develop some off-campus housing for whether it's graduate degree studies or even just some off-campus housing.
That's the
for
beginning.
people,
That's the
that
beginning.
could be the beginning
That's
of
right.
something really big.
Get the
for
door
us.
open, and then they start thinking of other ideas.
Believe me, college kids spend their parents' money very
Easily.
well.
That's right. I understand that. We've all had a few.
That'll make it work. So.
Amen. That's right. Well, I more or less, like I say, I see the college coming in. How about this busway getting the college kids to the city? Is this something that you've seen? Is this a part of the project where we're looking to see if we can't utilize a little bit of this busway to make sure the college kids?
I've actually had the luxury when this thing was in its inception stages. I was able to go to Pittsburgh and view their bus route. Mind you, busway is a fairly controversial issue for a lot of people, and unfortunately, people continue to beat it over the head with a stick because they think it's a gross waste of money. Well, mind you, it's a federal project. It's not a city or a state project.
yeah.
The city's contribution basically is supportive, but
That's it.
the state's part in this thing is the infrastructure improvements on many of the bridges that we're going to have to be invested
Done
in
anyways.
Yes.
Yep.
So what you finally see really is a large federal investment from a specialty source at the federal level, and I think there's some great opportunities with transportation-oriented development dollars surrounding the quarter-mile radius all along that bus route. So we've already got some developers and the Connecticut Property Owners Association talking about reinvesting in some of the neighborhoods surrounding that busway. So I think things are moving in the right direction, and it's just a question of making that happen.
Well, basically, New Britain is my business town, and you know it. I've been there 15 years now, and you've been with me through the whole 15.
Yep. Yep.
And I do see development in the east side of the town. I'd really like to see something like a Millennium Village where they're using this busway as their livelihood as far as transportation to either get to school, to work, or whatever their family might need. And I think that might be a little bit of the future coming, is that these telephones and whatnot is going to be the communications and tell you how to take a bus anywhere you want to go and how to use rapid transit. And
But we also have to have something for them to want to come to downtown New Britain.
Yep.
You know, they're just going to not take the busway downtown and not do anything. You know, restaurants and
There's got to
stores
be
and
facilities for them. You know,
Right.
it's not just the library and other places where they're going to come. You know, there has to be places to eat,
Right.
coffee
Shop.
shops, things
Right.
like that, places to shop, and that's what kids are looking for, and especially students. And that's why you see communities grow up and out of college
Exactly, yeah.
environments. You know,
it's
any
easier,
city
it's
you go to.
comfortable that way. And I think Central has grown to the leaps and bounds over the last 20 years to make that a key element in New Britain's growth. And I see it, and I'm always on that billboard down there.
Yeah.
You know, I got to stay with that. There's no question about it. I want to make sure I'm part of Central because I see
Well,
that.
that's because Steve Valenti makes you buy that billboard. Every
You know
day.
how that is. You know how that is. Hard guy to say no to, Steve Valenti. I hear you.
Hey,
all right.
Cheers.
enjoyed.
Cheers.
Oh, this matches that apple strudel great. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
And this is a sparkling.
That's a sparkling wine. That's Hinkel. They came in. They're from Germany, and they're having a hard time advertising here in the States. And they need a nice German restaurant to get it out. And so they came over to me and says, "Gee, Nick, will you help us
Nice.
put this on the market?" And I tasted it. I liked it. I says, "You know, I got a lot of things. I don't have a sparkling wine that I represent for the house, and this is why I'm
Very,
trying
very
it."
good.
And
Very good.
It goes over good. Women like it.
Yes,
And I like the
really.
fluted glass. I mean, walked down the Oktoberfest on around 11 o'clock at night, listening to some Stevie Ray Vaughan band playing some great music and drinking this champagne. Oh my God. Seeing double, feeling single all the way. Well,
We're going to wrap it.
I think this is almost a wrap, and I think it was
It
a
is,
great
yes.
wrap. Got a little news, got a little ideas on what downtown might can look like, where it's going, from a man who knows exactly, from being the chamber, being the mayor, and everything else that he's been for New Britain. I had him here tell me the real story. Thank you. Thank you so much,
man.
Tim.
Appreciate you
Thank you. Joe, great
Thank
job
you.
tonight, as
Thank you.
always.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.